Right.
So I think for men it's different. Like when I was raised single parent mom, I had my aunts around, my uncles work. So being raised around a lot of women, I think I learned how to talk.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think for men it's hard to get us to talk, but to know, okay, I told you this,
Yeah.
and now you dropped the ball. Now I can never tell you. It'd be even 10 times harder to get that person to communicate.
Yep. Well, one of the things my mom told me right before I got married, and I always talk about it, tell the congregation about it, and that is, she would say to me, son, it doesn't, number one, she said to me, son, it doesn't matter how angry she makes you.
Yeah.
Don't you ever talk about your wife to another woman. Never.
Good
and I've never done that. Anything that Jackie has done that has hurt me, I've talked about it. I just come to her and say, okay, this is what you did. Now, I wasn't, well, I guess I still am in some ways. I'm an internalizer. So I internalize a lot.
I gotta go fishing to get something.
I know, and I had to learn how to really be able to communicate openly with her and tell her, okay, this is step by step. This is what bothered me.
Yeah.
This is what you did. I'm not beating you up about it.
Yeah.
We had to learn that too.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother segment. But we had to learn how to really say what bothered us about the other individual. Yeah. And when she afforded me those opportunities, I was able to really get a freedom from just being so much of an I'm still an internalizer now, but I'm not as bad as I used to be. I just go step by step and I tell her this is what I'm dealing with. But that's what my mother taught me. Yeah. She said, don't you ever.
Don't take it out.
Yeah, don't you take it out. And never once, out of 21 years of marriage, we never had to call on our parents and say, I'm tired of her, I'm sick of her. And she's never done that to me as much as she could have. She never did that to me. And we never went to our friends and said, you know what, I need you to help me with this, because Jackie did this and she said that and I'm frustrated and I'm angry with her. We never had to do that, in order to get some level of counseling. So
I love what you're saying, because as you were talking, the thought came to me.
Yeah.
It's unfair to your friends and family to do that.
Yeah.
Especially when you know what your spouse is anointed to do in your family and for your friends. It's unfair to them to now change their vision of who that person is, because tomorrow you're going to still be with them. They're still anointed. They're still called by God. And the word and the knowledge and the wisdom that they are called to release, you've now blocked it.
It's like you bruising their testimony.
Exactly. Exactly. So it works against both parties.
Or even their effectiveness just to minister.
Right.
Because just because a person hits some bumps in the road while they're on their journey does not disqualify them.
Absolutely.
And I think in just the Christian world, in the world of believers, we've put this perfecting measurement upon people, and we made people think that you have to be perfect in order to be effective. No, you don't have to be perfect to be effective. You have to be authentic.
Right.
It is being authentic that brings positive or productive effectiveness. And a lot of people, because you got people who are trying to be like, I'm not going to say names, but try to be like the next big person or big name in Hollywood, whatever. But you don't realize every time you compare, I think we dealt with comparison earlier, every time you compare yourself with someone else, you are devaluing your genuineness, your authenticity, and every time you devalue it, you push it to the side. Therefore, if you push aside your authenticity, you're overlooking your gifts. And if you're not using your gifts, then you don't have effectiveness. You're not effective in ministry or whatever your assignment is. So those things are so important when you're dealing in your marriage. You stop comparing. Stop thinking that you need to be like someone else and trying to do it like everyone else. Be yourself. Be who God has called you to be. And not only that, stop trying to look for this thing called perfection. But look for authenticity. If we can train people in our churches, our single people, how to stop looking for marriage or stop looking for relationship and stop looking for this picture perfect man, picture perfect wife, Coca-Cola bottle, abs, whatever, and start looking for authenticity. We'll have less people getting involved in relationships and being hurt and being disappointed because they found out that the person was not who they said they
That's
were.
right. And if I can just kind of wrap that up a little bit,
go ahead.
more so, it's pride when you take negative information outside of your marriage because you're trying to cast a better image of yourself than your spouse.
That's another way to look at it.
It's a pride spirit that hey, I'm going to tell you this and they're doing this, but are you talking about what you did that may have caused what happened or what they did or how they responded? So pride says, let me go tell somebody so that I can buddy up and so that I can feel right. Okay? It's not about who's right, it's about what's right. And that's one thing in our relationship as well we've come to. We don't have rights.
Right.
We don't deal with, well, I have a right to say this and I have a right to do that, because who I am and what I do. What's right?